And welcome to another episode of Laughable Advice. I'm your host, Vince Barry. You may or may not have heard me on 99.1 PLR. On Laughable Advice, we take your real relationship stories, go through them quite thoroughly, crack a few jokes, have maybe some advice. I like the jokes more than the advice because, as my grandfather used to say, if you're not laughing, you're crying. My co-host today, as usual, is the lovely from Fox's 99 to Beat, Dee Ortiz. How you doing today, Dee?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. I have a little bit of news for you. If people listened to the first episode, they might recall we had an extended discussion about my thrifting, the thrift store thing,
Yep.
and my collection of clothes. I'm here to tell you today that both, actually, the hat, the shirt, and the shorts, all thrift store stuff. The sad part is, these shorts, when I pulled them out of the dresser, they still had the Goodwill tag on them. Yeah, that's the face you should make. And this shirt was part of a batch of shirts that I texted you a picture of.
Yeah, I saw the bag. He sent me some more clothes this weekend.
I may have gone overboard in a few places. I may have bought 6 or 7 new shirts at the thrift store. And then my mom may have been at Walmart and saw a sale on Star Wars t-shirts. And I'm now the proud owner of like 4 Mandalorian themed shirts. At this point, I'm going to open like Vince's closet and we'll just, I can either eBay them or just maybe have people roam through my house and just take things off of curtains at this point.
You're not going to be able to do that. Your mom encourages this. I love that.
Yeah, she goes, oh my God, the shirts were only $4. And one of them was like a Mandalorian like baseball shirt with a button up. And I'm like, all right, well, it's like, I'm not going to turn that down. Actually. And I did just go get a whole new stack of wire hangers. So the ones with like the velvet on them so they don't like mess up another thrift store find.
All right.
I don't know. I thought you'd be delighted that I'm actually using some of this stuff that I accrued over the years.
I think you need, real quick, I think what you need to do is now when you buy stuff, get rid of the same amount of stuff that you're buying.
I can see where that's a very reasonable thing and also probably not something I'm going to do.
I already knew that because I should actually take that advice myself. But
and it would be very rude of me to not introduce our special guest for today, comedian Ron Hill. How are you doing today?
Thank you very much for having me. It's I'm doing well, and I'm very, very glad to be here. Very grateful to be here, so thank you both.
Yeah, and I just want to shout out Dee because I did have somebody who mixed up their Monday dates, and Ron came in very short notice, so thank you for that.
Saved our lives.
Not the first time I've come in short notice.
Already off to a good start. Thank you.
Should we know? Should I know about what? Where the line is with our humor?
The line is just over the radio and just before we would get kicked off of YouTube.
Okay, I'll try to.
So we can swear or curse if it comes naturally, but if you feel like you have to go out there and Joey Diaz it and say a bunch of F words in a row, probably not the
All
move.
right. Good to know. Thank you.
Did anybody ever tell you look like Nathan Fillion from Firefly?
That's funny. I never realized.
Or ABC's The Rookie.
I love that you're giving his his resume in such a professional manner. I have been told that, which it's more flattering than some of the previous celebrities I used to get.
All right, what are they?
Okay, so this one wasn't so bad. There was an American Idol kid years ago, Chris Allen, who had done pretty well. I don't think he won, but he had done pretty well. And but it was where it came from. It was an old man at the train station, and not like a cute old man who's like sitting on a bench and feeding ducks, but like an old man who had been like sitting around. Yeah, that's him. So
okay.
Back when I was younger and my face were a lot more youthful, I used to get it from teenage girls and this one creepy old guy at the train station. That was a little bothersome for me. And then the really, if you could Google DJ Qualls.
No.
Yes.
I will, but I know.
I don't know. I need to see this.
It's with a Q,
I gave this homeless woman a ride one time and took her to pick up a prescription. And then ultimately she asked me to buy her prescription, which I did. And then
This one's so dirty. She did you
That's
so
so
dirty
mean.
on this.
And you did her a favor. She was homeless.
I thought it was just a strange.
That's not
It
nice.
was just a strange comment to make.
Man, he's
And
looking rough.
He's like, he doesn't even look like you.
Oh well, I appreciate
Back
that.
in the day, maybe.
Right,
You'd think so?
right.
Maybe. Nah,
No,
bit.
not even a
Little
little
bit.
bit. That's not nice.
But it was the way she said it too. Because
Yeah, I want to know how. How did she say this?
yeah, she wasn't. It wasn't like she didn't express it in a way that held him in any regard that would have been impressive. So she said, I was at the gas station. My ex-wife and I had just moved into a new apartment. I was at the gas station, like filling up. This woman came up to me. She's like, "Can you please help me? I'm just trying to get to Rite Aid for my for my prescription." I said, "Yeah, no problem." Took her over. She's like, "Do you have like $50? It's only going to be like 20 something, but I just don't have, and I want to get a couple other things." I said, "Yeah, sure." I gave her some money. She went inside. She came back. She gave me like $3 back. And then I saw her tuck another 20 in her pocket. And then she was like, yo, can we go to Burger King? And I said, sure. Took her to Burger King, and she proceeded to order across me and pay with the money that she had pocketed, which was fine. I was happy. I would have given it to her anyway. But then she's like, "Oh, I just need to go home now." And I was like, "Wait, I thought you were homeless." So we get finally to her driveway just about. And we're about to pull in. She goes, "You know what? I just figured it out. You know who you remind me of? That skinny kid from Road Trip." So that's how I knew that it was not. She wasn't like, "Oh my gosh, it's DJ Qualls."
Starstruck. Yeah, she wasn't starstruck or anything. Oh my God.
Okay. That was...
How long did you know this woman for?
About 90 minutes.
They became best friends.
Yeah, you went on a journey in the I'm always one to, if somebody needs a meal or a couple bucks to, kick them a few, but you went above and beyond there, sir.
Right? Brought her home to her home.
That's the weird move at the end. Home, Jeeves. Like what?
You became her driver for the day. She was like, "Do me a favor." What the house look like though?
It was nicer than the one I was moving into. Probably.
Are you kidding
No,
me?
it was probably a 2-3 family house.
Okay.
It had kind of that typical gray vinyl siding. It wasn't anything special, but
she had a home.
She had a home.
Yeah.
And she probably had more money in her wallet than I did.
Well, especially if she got 2 or 3 of you a day. Oh my God. She saw you coming. You were a
she
sucker.
You looked nice. You looked nice.
That's maybe true.
You should have said, "Wait, you're homeless. I could just drop you off anywhere. You're home."
No, she gave him the address. She was like, "I live here. Can you pull up to the door? Because this is too far. I
Imagine
can't
if
walk."
she was like, "Hey, listen, the gate code is."
That would have been amazing. That actually would have been amazing.
So before we dive in to our relationship stories today, I think I have a couple good ones. What is, you mentioned moving, you mentioned wife before the thing. We mentioned like children's shows that people's kids were watching. What is your kind of situation right now?
So I'm 41, and I've been divorced since 2013 and separated since 2011. We have 2 teenage kids. My son is 20. He's about to be 20, and my daughter's 18. So, and I just have remained single ever since we broke up. I just kind of want to focus on being a dad, and that's kind of carried over now that they're teenagers. I haven't really gotten out of that habit. I just find it a lot more peaceful.
Yeah, no, I understand because I'm 39 and I live by myself and I have 2 cats. I don't have any teenage children. That's my one thing. I'd like to have kids. I understand the shot clock's running out on a couple biological things in my life, but I think, next couple of years I could sort this out and have a couple kids.
I think you have time,
Yeah.
and also I kind of feel like having 2 cats is like having 2 teenage kids.
Yeah.
Because they don't talk to you. There's always like kind of this attitude.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God,
and
yes.
you might run into them like in the kitchen once in a while, and that's about it.
I'm going through that now. I have a 15-year-old, and no matter what I say, I'm wrong. I mean, I can say, "Oh," she'll say, "Mom, guess what happened? Yesterday, I got scratched by my boyfriend's dog. Did the dog scratch you or bite you? I don't know. How don't you know the difference?" She goes, "I don't know. I stepped on it by mistake and it did something to me and I'm bleeding." I'm like, "Maybe, was it a scratch? I don't know, Mom." Like, she's mad at me because she doesn't know what happened. So you just have to drop stuff. You just have to walk away. And it's hard because you just want to cuss her out, and I can't, but I do. And then we're fighting. It's hard. It's hard. It's so hard.
Let's just hope your daughter never witnesses a crime.
Oh, listen.
Did he get shot or stabbed?
I don't know,
officer.
I didn't get mad at the officer.
What's with all the questions?
I know. No, seriously. God forbid, you can't ask her anything. Or she'll be like, what should I wear today? I don't know. Then here's me. I don't know. What do you feel like wearing? Mom, you know what? I'm not going to ever ask you anything. I'm going to start doing everything myself. I'm like, yes. Is that what it's going to take?
That's the whole point.
You know
You're
what?
supposed to. You're 15. Figure it out.
Oh, she can't.
You got 3 more years, kiddo.
Oh, my God.
3 more.
She
Not
can't.
even.
No.
Two and change.
So if you need to borrow one, so then it helps you not want one, you can borrow mine.
I told one of my long-term girlfriends, you can be surprised that we did not get engaged or married. Despite me, I'll tell this story maybe in another episode, buying a ring and then her breaking up with me like a couple weeks later. So I never got to like use it, which was great. Saved me a lot of time and trouble and money. But I always told her that I would like to adopt a kid between 12 and 16 who's either really good at an instrument or plays football. Okay. Because I'm like, listen, I will support little Tyrone for 4.5 years. We'll get him his degree.
There was a movie on that.
It was The Blind Side, but I'd be way less exploitative than that whole... The movie is very sweet. The true story behind Michael Orr is not so sweet. Yeah. So I would be the movie version. I wouldn't be the real life version. Yeah.
That's right. That's like getting in on Tesla right after the prototype.
Or like buying in on Google the first day. It was like $49 a share.
Yes.
I told this to one of my friends who's a female comic. She goes to the gym a lot. And she says the guys are always staring at the girls. I said, oh, do you know what they're doing? And she's like, well, looking at who the hot ones are. I'm like, no. They're looking at the big ones to see which one of them is going to get hot from going to the gym. It's called investing in a penny stock.
Oh,
I love that.
She's like, you are gross. And I'm like, I didn't name it. It's just what it's called. You invest in a penny stock. You pick the prettiest fat girl at the gym and you're nice to her because you see that she's the one that's working harder than all the other ones. Like they're on their phone or she's the one that's actually running. You're like, she's going to be skinny next year. You know what I mean?
See, but you guys don't have patience for that. You guys don't have patience for that. You don't have patience.
It's definitely a long game.
I think that's such a funny concept. I've never heard of that, and I think that's so funny.
Yeah, it's terrible, right?
Now when you go to the gym, we're gonna be like,
yeah, you're gonna
be looking, what? He was right.
You look at the chubby guys, and you're like, he's a security guard now, but if he tightens it up, he could be a cop. You know what I mean? Like you can look at it that way when you're at the gym. You know,
right.
That's true.
Go both ways.
If you need entertainment at the gym, there you go.
Yeah.
Focus.
The gym is the funniest place because every so often I'll sign up for a year or two and I'll get really motivated and I'll go and then I'll stop. But my favorite part about going is everybody else that's there. Because there's like old guys who use the exercise bike as if it's a chair. They don't pedal. They're just like, I want to read the newspaper.
I agree.
One of my dad's friends would go to the gym by my house and he paid a membership every month. He never went on a single machine. He sat at the smoothie bar all day to talk to people. And he would just sit, and he got to know everybody's name, all the workers, all the people that came. And he's like, oh, Jerry, leg day, right? And let me get another smoothie, please, honey. Like, you know what I mean? It was like he was treating it like a bar, but it was the smoothie bar at a gym.
I have a cousin that pays the membership to go tanning. She literally would go tanning, and leave. And I'm like, I go to a tanning salon. Like, I don't want to go to the gym at all. So, I mean, that's not going to motivate me. She just literally goes in, tans, and leaves. That's it. Yeah.
What a concept.
I paid for the tanning. I will pay for the tanning because I don't know. I'm Italian, so I feel like I need to keep representing the homeland by staying tan. Like, so I will pay the extra if I have a gym membership. And there's a saying from the pro wrestling business by Arn Anderson, who is a thick man. He said, fat looks better brown.
This is true.
And he's like, and the justification is, have you ever looked at a raw turkey versus a cooked turkey?
That's actually funny. That's hilarious.
Because if you look at a raw turkey, you're like, but then the cooked turkey, that's delicious. A plump-ass bird.
It looks delicious.
It looks juicy. It doesn't look pasty. Yeah, so
I feel skinnier when I'm tan. I'm like, okay, look at me being so tan and like skinny is a lie, but whatever.
No, I think it is. I think it's some sort of not optical illusion, but like it does something.
No, it does.
Like having the tan does something. It makes whether it's internal or external. I don't know. I feel different if I have a tan. I feel better.
It gives you something. It gives you. I feel like it gives you something. It makes maybe it looks intentional. Maybe it's like I'm at my intentional weight.
Okay.
And this is how good I've reached my weight and now I look good because this is like this is where I feel like this is my zone. Okay.
Maybe.
I just be fluffy and tan, but I look better tan and fluffy than pale and fluffy.
Oh, absolutely. I look like a wet sack of cake batter if I don't have a little sun. It's just not great.
I used to tell people that I look like a body that washed ashore that had taken on like a lot of water for weeks before they found it, before it like just came like kicking up on the Jersey Shore and some kids found it.
No.
It's like the Green River Killer's victim or something just washing up. Oh my God. Yeah, so we should get into these stories here because I do have some themed. I'm a comic, you're a comic, Dee's funny. I have comic themed stories here. Before I start, just a reminder, if you have a question or you need advice, email us laughableadvice@gmail.com. You can also follow us on social media at laughableadvice, all one word, Instagram, X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, etc., etc. Just look for at laughableadvice. DMs are open, so if you don't want to send an email, you can just send a DM with your question, concern, or story, and we will throw you on the list. But for today, I have trawled the depths of the internet, and by the depths of the internet, I mean Reddit, which is, if you remember the quote from Star Wars, a wretched hive of scum and villainy to describe the cantina. That's what Reddit is. Reddit is the internet version of the Star Wars cantina, and everybody looks fuzzy and has that color hair. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what Reddit is. Apologies to anybody who actually follows Reddit that closely, but these are all comedian-themed stories. Okay. This one is not about being a stand-up comic. It is about taking your partner to a stand-up comedy show. Try this one on from our dating. Workout Brody is the username. Good for you, bro.
Like him already.
Workout Brody. The title: I went to a stand-up show for a date, got made fun of, and then ended up crying in front of my date. Not very Jim Brody of you, bro.
No.
I feel bad already.
Yeah.
Because do you do stand-up or improv? What's your special?
Improvisation.
Do you do a lot of crowd work?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. Have you ever offended anyone with your crowd work?
Not intentionally, but one time beyond offended, yeah.
All right, story time. What happened?
Okay, I'll make this pretty quick. We were hired to do an improv show at a church, and I won't say what church or where it was located. But we were hired by one of the parishioners who is heavily involved in the church. And she said, it'll be a great time. You come out, you do the improv. She had seen another show. She was like, this will be great. And we do shows for churches. It's not that we do anything vulgar. But the priest was in the front row. And it was one of those cool, like, Christian churches, I'll say.
Yep.
Okay,
so it wasn't like a priest who wore, like, the black and, so it was just like a cool priest. Not that the rest of them are not cool, but I just mean like you
I get the vibe. Yes. He's one of those turn the chair backwards, step over it. Let me just chat with you about Jesus real quick, guys.
Exactly. Dangerous minds approach to religion. And he was in the front row. He was having a great time. He was laughing a lot. And we do this one game where we interview someone from the audience and we ask them questions about their personal life because then we are going to play it on stage. And I had asked him how many kids he had. And he goes, 3, 2. And I made a joke about the fact, you sound like a great dad. He knows exactly how many kids he has, blah, blah, blah. Move on. Crowd laughs. He even laughs, moves on. Show ends. And the woman who had hired us was like, I'm sorry, I should have told you before. He did have 3 kids. And she went on to describe why he no longer had 3 kids and why he, had a tough time answering that question. And I just completely, I felt terrible. So that's beyond offense, I think.
my whole body.
Yeah, same,
no.
same. I'm like, oh no.
I heard the details of why he no longer has 3 kids.
No.
It's
Oh my
terrible. And I'll spare everybody because nobody
Thank
wants
you.
to hear
No,
that.
No,
this
but
is-
also that's her job to be able to give you, like, as an assistant, like hey, if you're gonna joke on someone, let me give you the story. Like, it's just her fault, not yours.
I appreciate that, Dee. Thank
It's
you.
hers.
I think she did. We had like 3 different sets throughout the day. It was kind of a couple hours long, and we would do a set, and then new people would come in. We did another set. We did another set. And that was at the very end. But each time that we would take a break in one of the back rooms, she would go, "Oh, I did just think of something I should let you know." She never told me that. But
The most important.
It started with, she was like, just nothing, nothing with like 2 men being in a relationship and things like that. And then by the second break, she was like, nothing with like 2 men being roommates.
Oh my God. How far are we going to push
So
that?
she was more worried about that than, hi,
Exactly.
forgot to tell you my boss's child passed away.
Yeah.
Don't joke on that.
She couldn't be like, hey, listen, this guy suffered a terrible personal
Yes,
tragedy, and it
yes.
hasn't been long enough to be funny yet.
Yeah.
Right,
Because
right.
there are some people you can joke about something that happened as
Yeah.
long as it's like far enough in the past.
Agreed.
I had a similar situation. Maybe this is why I felt such secondhand shock from your story. I was doing a charity show for some disease. I don't even know what anymore. It's like a neurological, degenerative, whatever. It's passed down through your DNA into your kids and all this stuff. So a guy asked me, it's free, but there's a buffet, you get free food. Let's do it. 10 minutes of comedy, whatever. I can do that for free food. And right before the show, the organizer of the charity gets up and goes, such and such disease kills 10,000 people every year, including people like my husband, Charles. And I'm just like, what are we getting into? And she did a full speech on the disease. And she also had like a disabled kid who had some other thing wrong with him. And she's like, we're also raising money for this and going through the whole thing. And after 10 minutes of everybody just like getting so emotional, she goes, are you guys ready to laugh? Here's, I'm not going to say
so
the comic's
uncomfortable.
first name. I was almost going to say, because it involves him as well. I can't say his name. You know who you are. I am sorry. So he has to go up and just dive bomb. The next guy dive bombs. He's in the back. I'm about to go out. He's looking into a mirror going, it's okay. You're still pretty. It's okay. You're still pretty. Like, he bombed so badly. He was like, forget about the comedy. You're good looking. Let's focus on that. I was like, that's how bad his bomb was. After this lady unleashed just the charity death announcement, death clock thing for everybody. It was, so I get up there. I'm like, all right, we're going to try and kick this thing. Like, I was not new to comedy, but I was still new enough where I'm like, I can win these guys back. Let's go out there, guys. Instead of just understanding I was in Vietnam and I had to wait for the chopper, like it was 10 minutes until the chopper comes and I just had to survive with the Viet Cong surrounding me. I'm on a rice paddy somewhere.
You're focused.
I'm like, no, I'm out there going, I'm going to make these people laugh. They just had a bad, we're all here for a bad thing. Let's make them laugh. There's a guy sitting at the table. He's got those 2 little he's missing a hand. He's got those 2 little coat hanger things that like together. So I said, hey, did you just get off of fighting Peter Pan and the Lost Boys?
Oh, God.
And he was like, he said, what? And I said, well, did an alligator with a clock in its belly eat your hand? He wasn't, it took him a couple tries. I threw a couple of them out there and he didn't quite get it. And then he raises up his other hand, which is also not there.
Oh, my God.
And also has 2 of the little click things. So he's sitting there, forever playing scissors on rock, paper, scissors, holding both of his hands up at me. This is when I zoom. I was so locked in on doing crowd work on this guy, I zoom out of his table. It is him, his elderly parents, and his brother who was the comedian that booked me on the show. I didn't realize I had been doing crowd work to his brother who lost his hands like viral meningitis or something when he was 10 years old or whatever. There was some tragic backstory as to, he stuck both of his hands in a McDonald's fryer and they're gone now. I don't know what the story is, but he was sitting there, Mr. Krabsing it up, and I'm just like, because like in my mind, 1 hand missing is funny.
2
hands missing is a legit tragedy. Yes. There are places on my body I need to reach with 2 hands during the day, and I can't. If you got an itch somewhere, if you got to go use a certain room. There's a lot of logistics you have to go through.
A lot going on.
All of that hit my mind at once. This guy picked up his fingers. I saw the elderly parents. I saw the guy that booked me sitting at the table.
How was his face?
He was fine because he's a comic. He got it. The rest of his family, I feel like the car ride home, he had to do a lot of, no, Vince is a good guy. No, he's funny. Listen, he saw one, he didn't see two. Like, I feel like my friend was he was doing a lot of damage control for me.
Or was he like, I don't even know him?
He's like, no,
he was
listen,
last minute.
Somebody else.
Somebody referred him. I would never do that.
I had a guy that called him sick. Yeah.
He probably did that. He's probably not really friends with his brother. Siblings, they fight. So it's probably like, I don't even know who did it. I'm happy I got him. That's probably what it was. That's so sad though. Two duplicate hands. Like, how do you wipe your butt?
Right.
Like how, there's so many hows.
And that's the part is like, again, the comedy thing is like, okay, if you got like one missing hand, we can have fun with this. Me then seeing that you have been living your life for however many years, like just grabbing a shirt off the rack and putting it on has to be a process. So like, so all that, what your story flooded all that back to me.
God.
Just that.
The trauma. You had a trauma bond, guys. You had a trauma bond.
Oh man. See, I feel like yours would have been more painful because I didn't find out till after I was off stage.
Oh no, this was real time.
So you kept going. So you had no F's given. You were just like kept going. All right, ha ha ha, funny, moving on. And he was probably like,
exactly.
Yeah, because
he wanted to cry inside.
I was like, oh, you could tag that up. You'd be like, hey, like Meatloaf said, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Hey, you're batting 600. That's you pick something. It's like Pete Rose only batted 325, and you're like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking of all these tags, and then you're like, there was a tragedy. Stop talking about the 2 out of the 3 kids that are still alive.
That's so sad.
No, that's brutal, and I give you a lot of credit for pressing through. Did you do a full 10 minutes? Or did you
finished my set and I did my stupid 2-minute long closer and everything where I used to do a closer. Guys, if you're a stand-up comic listening to this, here's my advice. Don't sing a song. Just do your set. My set closed with me singing, not a medley. I sang parts of songs that I remember as a kid from my first CD player. There's a whole story around going up to my room and looking at Dirty Mac. There's a whole joke to it, but like in between is like me singing these tags to these songs. I carpet bombed. It was Nagasaki. It was Little Man and Big Boy or whatever the words were. It was all of those. It was Dresden. It was everything combined. It was D-Day, except they had laser cannons and none of the U.S. soldiers survived. You know what I mean? It was, and I still was like, he gave me the light and I'm like, 2 minutes to shine, baby. Do your closer. Song and dance, man. Ha! And it's like, I should have, like, that set should have just ended with a gunshot. You know what I mean? That's just the way, like, the guy whose brother it was with the hook hand should have came up with a shovel and hit me in the back of the head to end the set. You know, that should have, and
that'd have been
no.
For them, it would have been gratifying. For his parents, probably.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I'd let the old guy take a couple shots. You know, the mom looked horrified, so I'd let her husband take a couple licks in just so, make her feel better. Sorry, mother. I'm not going to say the guy's name, but I will send him a Facebook message later to tell him that this story is now going to be out in the public. He probably forgot. His brother didn't.
He did
not. The guy with the hands talks about this every Thanksgiving.
He does.
He's like, you motherfuckers brought me to this show.
He's like, he's like, remember when my brother had that comedian come make fun of me in front of everybody? Do you remember?
He's like, that comedian is lucky I can't hold a gun.
That's right.
Actually.
Listen, I bet you he'd be a really good shot with a bow and arrow or like a crossbow.
Oh yeah,
probably,
because he's already got the quick release. You know what I mean? Like he could just. I'm sorry.
That's true.
Sorry again. I will send another
gardening.
Yeah, he tills the soil.
I'm sorry. This is terrible of me. I went to a dark place in my mind, and I apologize, both of you.
No. Oh, I thought you were going to say something worse than he was good at the garden. Yeah, I was waiting.
We're like, what?
You felt instantly bad.
I felt like I found that line.
You need it. Again, it's not a. I mean, it's sorry.
Right.
But it happened.
Now that it happened, we can joke about it to feel better.
Yes.
Because I still feel awful if you can't. But it's like, it's one of those ones where you have a bad set and then you're sleeping. It's 2 a.m. 10 years later, and you roll over and you go,
He brought it back. He brought your
You
trauma
brought
back.
it all back.
You brought it back.
And now we're going to bring it back
That's my
It was all your fault.
to this guy here. Check this out. I went to a stand-up show for a date, got made fun of, and then ended up crying in front of my date. It was my 4th date with her, and I really liked her and enjoyed seeing her, but now I'm screwed. She had the idea to go to a stand-up event where different amateur comics, there's your problem. Guys, as a comic, who literally mainly does shows in bars and basements of bars, if you want to bring your girl to a show, bring them to a real show. I'm not even telling you to bring them to my show. Bring them to Shane Gillis. Bring them to Kevin Hart. They're going to have a good time. Don't bring them to the local dive bar because every comic is going to be overly dirty, overly sexual. They've probably played this room a lot, so they're playing to the room that's there, and they know, like, certain jokes. There are venues that I go to where I know certain jokes get a certain reaction, so, like, I would not go to, like, an open mic or a showcase or something like that.
As your first date.
Yeah, even 4th date. I'm like, no, we go to a good show. I go to, like, Roar at MGM or somewhere, you know what I mean? You go to Stress Factory or whatever. You're not going to Cheesy's Chuckle Hut or whatever.
Even I'm scared to go to those, though. Even me. Like, I'm even nervous. I'm like, can I sit in the back? Like, even me, like, I have all this confidence in the world. I'm like, hell no, they will break me. They will find a way. Something will happen. I hide. So I would never. And he probably thought he was big and bad because, you know, those muscle heads.
Jim Bro guy.
Those muscle heads are always the ones that are like, I'm a tough guy, but they're the, like, most sensitive mofos ever. And she got to see it.
You're right. I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know how you did this because the text is very small and you're far away. So unless you're psychic, oh my God, you've got a good read on this. 3 out of the 5 comics made comments on me as part of their routine. They all just went in on me for the way I looked, dressed, and constantly made it a point that the girl I was seeing was out of my league. One asked how much I paid for her to be my date. I tried to be good-natured about it. I tried not to let it get to me. But honestly, my self-esteem is such shit anyways. I couldn't help to take everything they said personally because all of it was true. I ended up crying by the time the last comment came up and the girl noticed and said we should leave. I dropped her off and tried texting her apologizing for ruining the date, and I haven't gotten a response. I'm such a loser.
Oh, jeez. This really took a turn I was not
It was
expecting.
jovial at the beginning and then got kind of sad at the end.
Yeah. Like I said, I feel like out of a lot of guys that I've met, even women that are super into their body and their health and everything, they're super cocky, but remember, they came from probably being a little, like I call it fluffy. I never say fat. I always say fluffy. Like when you're a little bigger, we all go through those times where like we're building ourselves. And I feel like usually the muscle heads that you see are the ones, you know, even I look at them at the gym, they're like, ooh, and they make the extra noises. And you're like, you're so weird. Like that's what I think in my head as I'm watching them on the treadmill. Like, what's wrong with him? But it's because they're building themselves out and now they're in a better place they feel, but they're so easy to crack down. Like, especially if you're getting made fun of. Anybody, like I said, if I'm in me being me, it will still hurt my feelings if they start to pick something out. But, you know, he was there. He was so excited to have this date and he just broke him down. And that's like kind of sad. Like, you know, especially probably since he's gotten so far with his looks and he probably didn't realize how sensitive he was. And then for the girl to do that, like if anything, I'd be like, well, that's so cute. Like you actually have a heart. You're actually nice. And, you know, sometimes girls either don't like the really nice guys and want the assholes. So.
Yeah, that's what it seems like she wants there is I mean, now listen, you should be able to roll with the punches, but 3 out of the 5 comics, that's rough.
Yeah.
This is not a comedy advice show, but if I see somebody ragging on one person too much in the crowd, I'm like, we got to move on. Like, pick a new person. There's not one goofy looking person in the crowd or somebody wearing a weird outfit or a t-shirt. Like you can find something. Like I should have found somebody else who didn't have a hook for a hand that one day. You know what I mean? I could have found anybody else in the crowd that day and made fun of them.
God, imagine if this muscled guy had hooks for hands. He'd have been dead in the water.
That would be the ultimate. He should go in. He should just go to like Party City or something and get like prosthetic hands. So the next time he goes, he holds them up. He goes, "They were lost in a fire, mister. Don't make fun of me." You know, like just put it back on the comic. You're like, it's on you.
Yeah, really make them feel it. I will say this. I think the fact that so many of the comics picked on him indicates to me that visually, he was very showboaty. And if his name is Jim, what is it?
It was Workout Brody.
Workout Brody.
Oh,
so here's his problem. And Brody, if I may just say, I really do think that I agree with you 100%. I think a lot of it comes from insecurity, but I think people jump the shark and they go right to like arrogant and cocky kind of energy and overconfident, and that is just an invitation for people to go, I'm going to take this person down a notch.
Yeah.
So build your confidence, but if you need to talk to somebody about, kind of finding the middle ground, I think if you look good and you feel a little better about your appearance, you don't have to wear the tight shirts. You don't have to, show off and walk around like you're the man. You could just start to look good, be modest, and people will start to appreciate you a lot more. I think you'd get picked on less.
Yeah.
Right.
No, and I think something you touched on as well about like both of you touched on like being insecure and then using the clothes, the workout, the muscles as kind of a deflection for the insecure. It didn't solve the problem.
No,
it's just
helping.
Right. It's like it's shadowing it or sheltering the problem. And I think that's what's going on with this guy here. Because he mentioned something about my looks and the way I dress. So he looks in the mirror and he sees something he doesn't like. Whether he goes, "Oh, my nose is my face." No matter how much you work out, sometimes there's just features of your body you can't change. Yeah. And I think he obviously feels insecure about that.
I wish we knew what he wore, because in my head, what I imagined? I imagined, remember Mr. T, not Mr. Mr. T. Remember he used to wear those like shirts, or was that Hulk Hogan with the shirts that showed his whole boobs? And then it had like those loose pants. And, I only say this because I have an uncle that actually does it. I mean, he's mean. My uncle's crazy. But I mean, if you look at him, you can't break him down. He's like this big, old Puerto Rican, bald head, mustache man with a Harley. I'm very proud, but I can see that. But like, you can't say nothing to him. You don't even want to say anything to him. But like this guy, I'm sure maybe he was just, I don't know, he probably had the funniest looking outfit on. Maybe that's the thing, he was so extra, know, and like they were like, what the hell?
I agree.
Well, I think we've all been places where the dress code is one thing, and there's always somebody who violates that dress code.
Right.
And it might have been just like a casual event where people are wearing like polo shirts and stuff, and he walks in with like an Under Armour stringer back.
Yes, that's exactly
on, like dry fit shorts and all that stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like the fitted ones.
Right, like Atomics weightlifting boots. Not even like regular sneakers, like weightlifting sneakers, like specialty
Probably has
stuff.
a belt on.
He's still got the belt. He's like, "Listen here, brother. Say your prayers and take your vitamins and don't do any crowd work on me. I know how I look, brother."
He Vaseline.
He did. Shiny.
He's all oiled up.
Extra shiny for his date. He was on a date. He had to be extra. He had to be extra shiny.
I worked in indie pro wrestling for a long time, and I was a ring announcer, never a wrestler. But one of the things the guys used to do is called hot stuff. I don't know if you've ever heard. So hot stuff is for bodybuilders and anybody who wants to go out and try and make their muscles look better. It's literally a mentholated spray that's like super concentrated that essentially just brings all the blood vessels in your skin to the front. So if you want to look like more tan or vascular, and like it makes your muscles pop, but it also just makes your skin, like if you have a tan and then you do this, it makes your tan look tanner because you have more blood flow. But it's great. But the problem is, what a high school locker room smells like. Now take a high school locker room and put a big layer of menthol mint over the top of it.
Nasty.
And that's what every locker room in independent wrestling from 2006 until about 2015 smelled like. It was hot stuff and socks.
Oh, God. That's a terrible combination. Terrible combination.
Yeah, no, I already smelled it in my head. Right, I had two stepsons, and they smell funky when you walk in that room. Right. Like, what?
They're like, I sprayed it with Axe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like ass and axe. Ass and axe.
This is the time.
Open a window from
open windows, breathe.
But it's also an important distinction that you can make to 15-year-old kids who don't know, and some adults. There's a difference between deodorant and antiperspirant.
Yes.
Deodorant only covers it. Antiperspirant is what you want to go for because that prevents the sweat and it like the deodorant is just like
a cover,
putting chocolate frosting over a dog turd. You know what I mean?
Yes,
like you're
that's exactly it. Putting perfume over not showering for 3 days.
Yeah, you're doing goose shit Tang Hulu and you're just putting it around. Oh, I'm glad you guys knew what Tang Hulu was. I'm trying to pop the engineer over here. He hasn't laughed once. I love it. Okay, here we go. I got him. Okay, I got him once. I can.
Now he knows the challenge is on.
Yes, I'm going to try and make him break in the corner because last episode We got Nicole to break a couple times.
Yeah.
And but she's like, she's a young girl. I feel like she's still, she's young and happy. And he's like, older, life is gone from his eyes, kind of looking good. No, I'm kidding. You look great. No, you look great. You have kids. You have a happy life. And I live with 2 cats and I'm 39. So you win in the end.
I'm dead.
Do you think there's any saving workout Brody here? Like, because I'm looking through the comments there, everybody seems very apologetic and like, you're not a loser. You're expressing your feelings. If you get sad, it's okay to cry, that kind of stuff. But there's nothing in here that's like, she called back or anything. There's no update.
Wasn't.
It was after the date. They went on 4 dates. He cried at the comedy show and that's it. And now, I'm trying to, there's no, she called me back 2 weeks later. I wish there was a happy ending to this story. So what do you think if you're that guy?
I personally feel very much like it's probably better she didn't message back because if that's how she feels, then he doesn't want to waste time on that. And also, he's got some work to do, I think, before he really should be dating. I can appreciate that all of us, want the companionship and want to spend time with people. But if I feel like he's severely overcompensating from everything I can tell. He probably got picked on the most because of his appearance. And his appearance, there are some comics who will punch down. But a lot of comics, and you're right, you know what? It's an amateur show, so maybe they were punching down.
They could be punching down on a goofy-looking guy. Like,
That's true.
Because you could be built. You could look like DJ Qualls in the face, but then be built. You know what I mean? Like, that's a possibility.
That is my dream body.
Sorry, ladies. This is what peak male performance looks like.
But you're right. So if it were an amateur show, they could have been making fun of somebody who really did not do anything to really bring it on. However, I feel like most established comedians at least know, like, all right, we'll pick on the cocky-looking guy.
Yeah.
And so maybe I'm being harsh on Jim Brody, but I think that, or Workout Brody, I think the fact that that's his username says to me that he's bringing it on himself because he's overcompensating. If he just finds a little bit more humility and goes, okay, I may be starting from an insecure place. I want to walk around and people to look at me and admire me or whatever. Do that in a very modest way.
Yeah.
And I think that itself will fix and repair the self-esteem. And people won't make fun of you as much if you're not wearing a shirt 3 times smaller than your body.
Also, that girl probably went on a date with him because he dresses like that,
Right.
and it probably made her feel like, oh damn, like
It shattered the
I'm an
illusion.
idiot for doing this, and she didn't like the fact that he was in her eyes a wuss and broke down, and she was just like, that's not the man I wanted. Like, I want him to be big, bad, and but like, to me, I feel like the breaking down like is a thing like you want in a relationship, especially if you're trying to date. So she was there. She's the girl in the gym that's only looking at those guys, not the guy that's trying to get there.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I mean, honestly, he didn't deserve her because he actually has feelings, and maybe from this, if I wish he would come out and tell his story somewhere else too, because I guarantee you, like we said last week, like people want that vulnerability. And if I was in the audience, I would have been the first one to be like, oh my God, are you okay? Like, are you good? Like, I'm sure people approached him after, and she was just a bitch. Honestly, she was just a bitch.
Yeah.
It's obviously she was the girl with the fake boobs and the blonde hair. I already envisioned what she looked like.
I'm glad you're saying it, because if either of us did, we couldn't publish this episode. So please continue calling this awful woman a bitch. Please.
No. I go to the gym and I'm all about the treadmill, but I watch the girls. I'm literally zoned out on people's personalities because I'm a people watcher, and I watch the ones that are like wearing clothes this big. Listen, I hate clothes. I mean, I'm not saying I'm all about the clothes, but they're the ones that aren't even doing anything. They're recording themselves and like looking at the guy while they're working out, and it's always the buffest guy. And it's, sometimes it's like they say they want a good guy, but they're going for the looks. And then when somebody actually has feelings, they no longer want that. It's all about the visual for them.
They don't see the complete
No.
or they see the visual and they come up with, well, I see what you look like. This is what your personality should be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're absolutely right. I agree.
Like, you look like you should be a rookie cop on ABC's The Rookie, starring Nathan Fillion.
Fridays at 6 p.m.
There it is.
I appreciate that. That's very nice of you.
I tried to look up updates for our guy, Workout Brody, and it literally says this account has been banned. So I don't know what he did to deserve a banning from Reddit. You gotta be a bad boy to get banned from a whole website and not just like one part of it.
That's so sad. See
I
what
know.
I mean? It must have been her. She probably ran that. It was probably her.
Dude,
it was probably
she
her
got him
business.
banned. I'm gonna move to this other one because this is an Ask Women Over 30 question.
Oh.
I am not a woman over 30, but
I'm
I am
only
over
21,
30.
so
See,
I'm
there you
sorry,
go.
I
So
can't
you'll have
help
to
you.
just assume.
I'm going to act like I'm over 30.
Because some of this is going to be reading the post and someone's going to be reading the comments. Would you date a comedian? I got asked out by a stand-up comedian, and it honestly gave me pause. You know what? Right there, say no. As a guy, say no. I don't want a 50-50, half in, half out. Well, I'll go see. Maybe he's in that. If you're not interested,
Don't do it.
Please. Because I don't want to go in. I don't want to overplay my hand.
Yeah.
She's checking and I'm raising. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be like, oh, this girl is cute and I like her and push my chips in. And she just goes, I want to see the next 3 cards, please. You know, it's just like.
Yeah.
I agree.
But here we go. So we get asked out by a stand-up comedian. It gave me pause. They're cute, funny, athletic, and seem very nice. But the thought of being immortalized as part of or their entire set as a series of jokes in the if the relationship went sour, scared me off. Would you do it? And then she put it out to other women over 30. First one, probably not because of the risk of being a punchline. Totally this. Oh, this, yeah. I'd love to go out on dates with a comedian, but I'm not sure it would suit a long-term relationship. This is the general consensus of this comment thread is the women over 30 on Reddit would not date a stand-up comic because they, for a couple reasons, potentially being in the set and also just like the lifestyle of a comic that involves a lot of travel and going a lot of late nights. And sometimes if you're not a good comic, you got to perform on a Wednesday night at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night somewhere. And that's like, that could be time you could be taking for going out with your girlfriend or whatever. You know, you're going to be away on weekends. You could be out at shows. You're going to be at open mics. Why are you hanging out with those people? All they do is drink and tell jokes. You know what I mean? Like, I see the vision of like somebody who doesn't want to date a comic being like, all right, I'll bite the bullet and date a comic. And then they're like that, where they're like, you're always out with your friends. Like, I want to be like, they're not my friends. They're my coworkers. I don't even like them. Like, we don't like each other. We're only here because we want to tell jokes. I'm not listening to his. There are 25 comedians doing 5 minutes. I'm not listening to their jokes. I'm listening to my jokes. They're not my friends. You know what I mean? I just want, but the way they see it is you go out because you're having a good time and you laugh. Like, it's an entertainment business. They're saying you go out and have fun 4 or 5 nights a week with all these people and you're at bars and it's like, man, you don't understand. Drinks are $15. We're drinking water. I'm not having a good time at the bar. I'm writing jokes in my notebook. I'm working on tags. I'm putting my set together before I'm going on the stage. It's work. Like, people see it as entertainment, which it is, but it's on this end, it's work.
That's true.
So would you date a fellow comic? Have you dated a fellow comic?
I have. I'm trying to think. I have dated people who are comics or getting into it, and I don't know. I haven't had a bad experience, although I see how people could be a little apprehensive about everything that you. I think it's a more valid argument, everything that you're saying, than the part where it's like, well, what if I become a punchline? Well, a terrible comic might say, hey, you know, Jennifer so-and-so at this address did this thing. Otherwise, nobody's going to know it's you.
Exactly.
You don't have to go and see it's not like you're going to be going to see their sets, so you don't need to know. And if things are going well in the relationship and they're making fun of you, well, then it's either coming from a place of love and it's harmless, maybe you're being sensitive, or if they're making fun of you, then get the hell out, because that's
Right.
So I don't really think that part of it should be valid.
Right.
But
this seems like the comment that's in here the most is they're more concerned about being mentioned on stage than they are about like him being out at 11 o'clock on a Friday night doing his third show or whatever. Like, that would be my immediate concerns. Like, you're not around, you're not here. They're like, no, I don't want to be a punchline. What are you thinking?
Me, on the other hand, I love the lifestyle of an entertainer. It could be a comedian, it could be a musician. I am that person. I'm all about supporting whoever I'm with. I love to laugh. I've never dated a comedian, but I always end up dating people that are hilarious and have me laughing. I'm never bored. And I would be the first one sitting in the front, supporting my person and happy. And if you make fun of me, I would be like, yep, that's me. I did that. Like, I'm funny sometimes, okay? So I don't mind that. I feel like in that world, again, if you're looking for somebody, like if you're looking to date somebody, that shouldn't be, like, oh, they're going to make fun of me. Like, get that out of your head. How about let's date the person and see how it is? Let's go in and stop thinking. People overthink instead of think about, wow, this could be something so good. Like, I would go full force in with no problems. If they make fun of me, and it bothers me, I would then pull them aside and say, listen, if this is going to move forward, I didn't appreciate that. And then from there, you move forward. I just feel like that is silly that 90% of the women are more worried about, forget if he's a good person, he's going to make fun of me. Well, then what are you doing for him to make fun of? Don't do it. Don't show him. Don't show him that.
Because again, if we said that, if we're like, listen, girl, all you have to do is stop doing the things he doesn't like.
Stop being the annoying
we would sound like such misogynists.
No,
we're like,
for real.
listen. Thank you for setting it straight so we don't have to. But
that's right.
Yeah.
The other, before we finish up our episode here, I do think you and I and you as well, you've had your experience with acting and TV and all that stuff, because we've had that experience, and I've seen this with other people, we will date entertainers or comedians because we kind of understand what they're going through. So the issues that I brought up about not being around all the time and all that is not true if it's two comics. Like, if it's two comics dating, if they're both good, they'll double bill, they'll work together, they'll tour, they'll drive together. If they're going to open mic, like if you're a couple and you're starting out in comedy, you should be driving together and going to open mics together. That's both practicing your comic routine and getting better, and also like, you're interacting with your partner, you're bringing them out, you're socializing, you're going different places. So I think it's easier for people who are like musicians, comedians, all that, to date each other because you understand the struggle.
Right.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
I think it's also hard for me, because sometimes it's hard for me as a comic when you're dating somebody who's kind of like, I don't want to say a normie or a civilian. They use all these terms. It's like, listen, guys, we're not rocket scientists. We don't need phrases for like that. But like for a non-comic, it's hard for me to kind of explain, well, why do you need to be at this shady bar on a Tuesday night until 11 o'clock? And it's like, well, this is, something we're chasing here. But it's like, I don't want to have to explain that too many times to a person. I'd rather just date somebody who's kind of like
understands.
Right, already in it. So it's like, if you're not going to be understanding of it, you have to be in it,
Agreed. And I also think, I also just don't want to, I just don't want to put that on somebody, because if somebody doesn't understand it, and then they're internalizing, they may say something, but they're internalizing all of the discomfort with, he's always out at night, he's at bars, I don't know who he's talking to, I don't know how much he's having to drink, I don't know what he's up to, I don't get it. That is going to weigh on their mind a lot, which is really, I think, unfair to somebody else. So it's just easier. I agree with you. It's just a lot more efficient to date somebody who does kind of understand what's actually happening.
Excellent. So I think we've kind of reached a conclusion here for both of these people.
Yeah.
Workout Brody, I still feel for, and I hate that there's no resolution to this, because I do try and find, if there is a resolution to a story, I want to give us a happy ending. So I hope that he found, whatever he was looking for. But I think you were right, Ron, that it starts
with yourself
internally. Right. He has to be content enough with the way he looks, even if you don't have to love the way you look. It's not Men's Warehouse, but it's like, if you
you have to be happy with you.
Right. You have to be,
somebody
you
else
have to
can
healthily accept the way you look and be like, listen,
there's
things that I can fix. There's things I can't. I lost if you lost 100 pounds and your nose is weird looking, you know what? You lost 100 pounds. Who cares about your weird looking nose?
Focus on the good.
So let's, I think the general advice here for Brody is, work on yourself, and once you get to that point, you'll be comfortable. The other thing is for these women, every single woman over 30 who said, no, I wouldn't date a comic because of the material, being a punchline, you guys got some thinking to do. You got some rethinking to do.
Yeah.
But we'll wrap this episode up here. We're going to do another one with you, Ron, because we've had so much fun.
That's
but
nice.
Before we get going here, I will remind people to email laughableadvice@gmail.com or follow @laughableadvice on social media and send us a DM if you have a story. It doesn't even have to be your story. If you found something that you thought was juicy, send it through. But if you have a personal problem that you'd like us to address and crack some jokes at your expense, please don't have any hook hands. Or if you do, make it clear in your email that you have hook hands and you consent to being made fun of for having them, okay? That's how we'll handle that one. Before we get going on this episode, Ron, where can people find you? And is there anything you'd like to plug?
Thank you. Oh, boy. Let's see. You could go to ronhillimprov.com and you could contact me through there, find out about stuff that's coming up. We are doing a show. Our next show is July 10th in Hoboken, New Jersey. So we're traveling a little bit and doing some of that. So if you go to ronhillimprov.com, you can find out about that.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, man. I want to give everybody the opportunity here because listen, I'll do mine real quick. @OSnapVince everywhere. OHSNAPVINCE, all one word. Every platform, it's that. Just Google it. Don't follow my Twitter because I haven't used it in 12 years. Sorry. Everything else is probably up and active. And Dee, how about you? Where can we find you?
You can find me at Real D TV, double E's on everything. Real D TV on Insta, TikTok. Follow me, find me, love me. See you later.
Do you know that I actually, when I tried to tag you on something the other day, I heard you say your thing, E's on every 2 E's. I started typing REALDE, and I was like, why am I not finding her? And then I went back and listened. I go, oh, because I'm an idiot. But I found you because I was like, well, what other ways can you spell it? And I put it in. I was like, real big fish. There we go. I found
dramatic, you. Gotta double everything. Double E's.
It actually does make it easier because it's Real D TV. It reminds me of Willy Wonka. TV, Johnny TV or whatever his name was. Yeah.
What was that kid's name? I remember that kid. Yeah.
I don't know. TV. We will Google it at the end of the episode because the producer's on a tight schedule and we've got another episode to record. But thank you, Ron. Thank you, Dee.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
And this has been Laughable Advice. We'll see you next time.
See you later.